A conservative blogger is in jail, arrested for breaking into this Mississippi nursing home to photograph U.S. Senator Thad Cochran's ailing wife, suffering from dementia.
It's the worst.
In a new ad, Cochran's campaign points fingers at his GOP challenger, Chris McDaniel.
Posting video of Senator Thad Cochran's wife in a nursing home? Had enough?
And it gets even deeper in the Mississippi mud. Cochran supporters argue the reason the blogger took his wife's picture was to feed questions about Cochran and longtime aide Kay Weber, who's traveled extensively with the senator on the taxpayer dime. Cochran's campaign calls it part of her job and suggestions of anything untoward sexist. This Republican primary was supposed to be about the struggle of ideas within the GOP.
Chris McDaniel.
A young Tea Party-backed upstart challenging a fellow Republican for being out of touch and too entrenched in Washington after 36 years in the Senate.
Dana Bash. Pleasure to meet you.
Now, Chris McDaniel is fending off questions about whether his campaign had anything to do with photographing his opponent's sick wife.
Our campaign had absolutely no connection with that whatsoever.
You personally, when did you find out about the break-in?
Look, we're going to focus on his record right now.
God bless the Tea Party.
McDaniel would like to be the Senate's next Ted Cruz. Stick to principle, compromise be damned.
I am not going to Washington, D.C. to be a member of a cocktail circuit or to make backroom deals. I'm going up there to fight and defend the Constitution.
Talk to Mississippi Republicans and Democrats who say, come on, Thad Cochran has been there a long time, but he's a good public servant. He helps people in Mississippi.
Does he? And I say, come on. I say, name one fight Senator Cochran's led against Barack Obama. Name one time he's raised his voice in defense of conservatism.
For the Tea Party movement, after a string of primary losses this year, McDaniel has been their great hope, the best chance of toppling an establishment Republican in 2014, especially after this Cochran stumble.
Tea Party, is something I don't really know a lot about.
Millions of dollars pouring into Mississippi against Cochran come from a who's who of Tea Party groups nationwide.
McDaniel says he's a lifelong Republican.
But like other Republican incumbents this year, Cochran and his allies are fighting back, painting McDaniel as extreme and inconsistent. After 4 decades in Washington, Cochran has loyal supporters like this Democratic mayor.
You're a Democrat.
Yes.
And you're supporting Senator Cochran?
Yes.
Why is that?
One is that I understand politics and I understand what is needed in his state. And he's what we need in Washington, D.C. to stay as long as he wants to stay.
At this point, Cochran is trying to avoid unforced errors, going to head-scratching extremes to avoid talking to us. We tried to catch Cochran after this event, but when an aide came out and saw us, they did a bait and switch. The car they told us Cochran was getting in screeched away without him, while he snuck out another door to a different car, leaving reporters like us in the dust, unable to talk to the senator.